Hey, what's up internet? My name is Ross Hardy and today I'm going to be talking to you about my experiences as a Dvorak keyboard user for over 10 years. So some basic info about me. I'm a professional computer programmer, Java. I also have a typing speed of about 57 words per minute in a traditional QWERTY layout, and I can type about 90 words per minute with Dvorak. Alright, so how did I get into Dvorak in the first place? My college roommate, Wes, was a Dvorak user and had been telling me about it. And as I was getting started with computer science in college, I thought to myself, I should probably learn how to type well because I'm going to be doing this for a long time. I spent a lot of time on the computer, whether for work or for hobbies, so I should probably learn how to type well. The way I had learned to type up until that point had just been kind of like trial and error, and I was a pretty bad typist, honestly. So I figured I should probably teach myself how to type properly, and if I'm going to do that, I might as well check out Dvorak. The learning process itself wasn't that bad for me. All in all, it took me about a month to be comfortable typing in Dvorak. The way I approached it was, at first I did some exercises just to get a familiarity with the keyboard. And I learned it piece by piece, which is what I would really recommend to anybody who's interested in learning Dvorak. So first, I just started with 2 keys on the home row. From there, I expanded it to 4 keys, then 6 keys, and so on, until I knew the home row pretty well. Then I started introducing keys from the row above it, and then the row below it, until I had a basic feel for where things were. Once I learned some exercises, the second part of that was, this was like 10 years ago, so the times were pretty different. Back then, the cool thing was to be on AOL Instant Messenger. Oh yeah. So I was home on summer break when I was learning Dvorak. So I'd be doing my work. I would do my work on my normal keyboard layout, and I'd toggle it whenever I go over to AOL Instant Messenger to talk to my friends. So there's no pressure there. I would type slowly in Dvorak, talking to them, and gradually doing that day after day over the course of about a month, I learned Dvorak. Questions I get asked all the time about Dvorak. Do you have a Dvorak keyboard? No, do not do this. It's ridiculous. You don't want to look at the keyboard while you're typing anyway, so you just use a regular keyboard. You don't need to look at the keyboard while you're typing. If you're looking at the keyboard with your typing, that's already a horrible habit that's going to slow you way down regardless of which layout you're using. The second question is, can't read my writing. Okay, the second question is, well, if I learn Dvorak, then won't I forget how to type in QWERTY? No, you don't forget. You just know how to do it. It's just like if you learn Spanish, you don't forget English. Or if you learn how to ride a bike and then you get a car, do you forget how to ride a bike? No, you don't. If you come across a bike and you want to ride it, you just get on it. I can easily sit down and toggle back and forth between these keyboard layouts all the time. I do it all the time. All right, I want to talk about some gotchas with Dvorak. I talked about the speed, how I'm almost twice as fast as a typist. There definitely are some drawbacks that I want to bring attention to. These are things you might not really think about unless you're actually using Dvorak a lot. One is copy-paste. So, especially as a programmer, I use copy-paste all the time. And I usually use the keyboard shortcuts, which is Control-C, Control-V. Well, if you think about it in the first place, it's like, why isn't it Control-C, Control-P for copy-paste? Well, the reason it's Control-C and V is because C and V are next to each other on the keyboard. So it's very easy with one hand to just go Control-C, Control-V. And then you can use your other hand to move the mouse around. Well, this is great in QWERTY, but in Dvorak, C is moved to the other side of the keyboard. So you actually need both hands to copy paste, which is super annoying in practical sense. The way I work around this, when I'm going to copy paste, I actually toggle back to QWERTY with Control Shift, the default, and then I do Control C, Control V, and then I toggle back. It happens so fast you don't even realize it, but it is a little inconvenient. If you're a gamer, I've got some bad news for you. It's really annoying sometimes. It depends on the game, but some games, when you go into them, you'll still be in Dvorak and your mappings, your key bindings will all be all screwed up. A lot of times you can just toggle with your default toggle combo and just switch back to QWERTY and you're fine. Some games you have to quit out of the game and toggle back. The last two gotchas are specifically programming gotchas. One popular text editor, especially among hardcore programmers, is Vim. Now Vim is designed so that you can navigate with one hand and use your other hand to do commands such as toggle insert mode. Well, when you're using Dvorak, now the keys that were on your one hand to navigate are distributed differently. It's not really a deal breaker, it's just you do notice that you are maybe using your hands a little bit differently. I still love Vim. I don't have any huge problems with Vim. You can get alternative Vim mappings for Dvorak, but it's really not necessary. Just one thing I thought I'd mention. Another thing programming wise is paired programming. If I'm in a situation where I'm pairing with somebody, I'll either just fall back on Dvorak or just toggle before I slide the keyboard over to them with the default toggle. Sometimes you forget to do this and your partner gets confused. This is a great opportunity to just ask them why they don't just learn Dvorak. Would I recommend you learn Dvorak? Well, it depends on your personality and your profession. If you're typing all the time, if you're a techie, a writer, something like that, stenographer, yes, learn it. The efficiency gains are worth it. There is a short-term learning curve, but in the long, and it sounds like it's overwhelming. People are lazy. They're like, oh, I can't deal with that. Yes, you can. Just have some discipline, okay? You can learn it. If you're just a casual user or you're really lazy person in general, I wouldn't probably recommend it for you. But I would recommend everyone give it a try. Why not? What do you have to lose? I guess just some patience maybe. All right, anyway, I hope that was insightful for you all. From my own personal experience as someone who's been using Dvorak for a long time, I love Dvorak. I advocate for it. I do realize it's probably not for everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about Dvorak, feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to answer.